So in this session, we'll discuss rest of the state management techniques. So next topic is cookies. So generally, we might heard this term like multiple number of ways. Cookies is nothing but one of the client-side state management technique. It will store some information at a browser level. If we want to set cookies off or on, if you set it off, then automatically cookies information is not stored at our client side, which means that suppose if you're browsing something, suppose I want to open one of my Gmail. So once after my open of my Gmail, I provided my credentials like user ID and password. So then I log into my system, then I sign out and I close my system. Even though when you are try to log in for the Gmail for next time, automatically you will get an autocomplete. Means your username will be available, when you are typing something, which is because of cookies are available in your machine. In your client machine, if cookies are available, then it shows that results when you are typing something. So this is called a cookie. Okay, once there will be once we are going to work with the programming, we can make use of cookies in our programming implementation. So it always depends upon the client mission, because user has a option to off their cookies or on their cookies. If user tries to off their cookies, means then automatically our cookies code will not be work. Okay, so that this is one of the optional technique that we can use or not use. It always depends upon our own requirement, because if client me, I'm a user, I'm not interested to save my cookies information. If I set in browser settings, means then cookies won't be work for me. Okay, cookies is a small piece of information on the client machine. This file is located in client machine. See document settings, current login user, cookie path. It is used to store user preference information like username, password, city, and phone number. When you are going to fill a form, in a form, automatically that information is available. First time it won't be available. From next time onwards, it will provide results for us when you are typing something. So all these cookies works under the system.web.http cookie before we can use cookie. Okay, HTTP cookie is one of an class. By using this, we can create a cookie. These cookies can be broadly divided into two types. So generally, whenever we are going to the path of this cookie, so you see, these are all my cookies information. Okay, see users and document system, or see users default app data location something. The location is nothing but my location. So username, this is one. So here under app data, these all are my cookies information. So suppose means if you keep open a page, that page will be automatically stored in our catchy location or temporary location. The temporary location is all this one. If you're trying to call this page from the server, instead of getting that from the server, basically it will search from here. If you delete all your browser history and all those things, then automatically you will get a fresh content. Suppose if I'm going to delete all this information, we can delete all this one. So next time, see, this is the page which I accessed earlier. So this many number of cookies are there. So we can delete all the cookies information. See, everything is deleted. So likewise means if you want to set, we can set it, because by defaultly in browser cookies will be on. If you intentionally want to set it, means you can go to the settings of the browser and you can check the one of the checkbox. So storing of a cookies information that you can off, means your cookies won't be saved here. These cookies are divided into two types. One is a persistent cookie and another is a non-persistent cookie. Means if a cookie has no expiry time, then it is called a persistent cookie. Means if we want to set a expiry time for a cookie, then we'll call it as a non-persistent cookie. Okay, expiry time in the sense, if there is no expiry time, means by default it will be available for 50 years in a client machine. If a user didn't try for deleting the data, or user didn't try for some other alternative approaches to disappearing of data, as long as user is using that in that many number of days, it will be available. Means it will be available for 50 years, which is non-persistent, a persistent cookie. Then the name itself indicates that permanent. Persistent means it's a persist cookie, means it's a permanent. So it will be available up to 50 years. So non-persistent cookie, there is an expiry time. At the time of programming, we will give our own time, so that for that time it will be available. After that time, automatically it will be disappeared. It will be removed. That is called non-persistent cookie. Generally, what cookies can store means cookies can store different information. That information's, it stores domain information. Suppose you have a website, say for example www.abc.com. Okay, from which website you are maintaining a cookie? That domain information you are saving with the help of your domain property. So I have a ABC website. All my cookies are belong. I want to develop. I want to add few cookies in my web page. All those cookies are belong to the domain. So you have to specify the domain so that it will be very specific to domain. You're opening ABC, I'm opening PQ, or somebody opening XYZ. Say for all this information will be stored in your machine in order to differentiate which cookie is from which domain or which cookie is from which website. By using this domain property, we can get to identify. Okay, secure means generally, if it is an usually HTTPS means more secure than HTTP. So if our website supports HTTP with an SSL socket, secure socket layer, then automatically HTTP will be available. So secure property indicates that okay, this is from trusted partner or this is from a trusted website. We have multiple number of websites, may that websites may not be certified from the standards. So may they have a content related to hacking related content or anything. So by using this SS layer, we can protect, and we can predict that this is from an authorized source. And other is value. We can set a value. Suppose for my abc.com, I want to set some values. So username. So that value, if I want to store username, so HTTP cookie of double quotes, I can give my username, so that all my information related to username will be stored in that particular variable, a kind of variable, kind of object. So by using that, we can access wherever it was required. So, and as well as values, we can access once a value is saved in the cookie, we can access wherever we require by using a response object. So whenever we have a response object, in response object we can access with the help of a values within key and value pairs. I will show you how we can access this one. And expires. For this non-persistent cookie, we have to set our own expiry time. So that expiry time, it always depends upon our coding implementation. Whether you want to store it 1 day or 2 day or 3 day or 10 days, it all depends upon our requirement. Okay, so there will be a process for creating a cookie. So cookie creation is very easy. To create a cookie, we have two approaches. One is by using response object, and other is by using HTTP cookie class. So we can see how we are going to create a cookie. I want to create one new form. want to take a table. Name. Text department. Here I want to take one button. So here, so HTTP cookie is a class. I want to create an object for HTTP cookie. Obj. Say for example domain. If you want to show domain, you can pass your domain value. My local website. Okay. So if you want to store, so name, username, details, obj dot value, obj dot value. You can pass your own value. So I want to store what are the value that the pass that text box name. So expires. So expires you can give how much expire time that you want. So here we have a daytime dot now dot. So you can give add days or add hours. I want to expire add hours of 50 means I can save my cookie information up to 50 hours. I want to persist up to 50 hours. So this is my one cookie creation. Likewise, you can create multiple number of cookies. How many you want. Suppose if you want to save, department. Sorry, qualification. I think next is suppose qualification details. So this you can maintain it as one, and you can take it as a txt qualification dot text. So whenever we are added this one, so obj to qualification. What is this? Department. Next is department. Department details. Okay. So here we can add every cookie to our response. So you can add your cookie name, which so likewise, then only that cookie value will be saved in our response. Suppose obj3. Okay, once after here, okay, obj2. Once after here, I want to create one more, web form, new item. In this web form, I would like to name it as a cookies ex2. I would like to name it as cookies ext2. So here, what you have to do is server dot transfer. We have a method, we already discussed about this thing, right? Means we are redirecting to root folder cookies ex2.spx. Means I'm redirecting this from one page to another page. Once after redirecting, I want to take few labels here itself. ASP label id equal to name, runnet equal to server, font bold equal to true. Just I want to take. Just I would like to use break. Okay. So for this I would like to take it as a qualification. LBL name. Qualification department. Okay. Suppose in order to access your cookies information into another page, you can check like this. You can check. So first you can ensure that that value is not null. Okay. So for this object dot reference equal object dot reference equals of response dot cookies of whatever the name that you given for your cookie, that name we can access, comma null. Means if it is not null only, you can read that value. So what is your cookies value, we can check here. So you can name, and you can access lbl name dot text equal to, then only we can assign that value to this cookie, response dot cookies to string. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is just I'm executing my cookie cx1.aspx page. So name I want to add some qualification. So department technical. When I click on this submit button, so I'm navigating here. Sorry, you have to write this one. Cookie dot value dot to value dot to string. You can write this. So again I'm executing this one. When I click on submit button, object reference not set. Let us check what are the objects that are available for this cookie. Something there is a problem. Let us check what is the problem. Response.cookies. Okay, it will come out of this. So just we can put a breakpoint in exe1 only, then we will get to know what is the problem. When I click on this submit button, okay, I'm adding all this information. So just we'll put before server transfer. Okay, now all my cookies information is available with me. Cookies. So I have a three information. Okay. Okay. I have three information. Let me come to this each and every one. This is username details. Okay. Username details, and next is quali. Okay. So for this response dot cookies of, suppose I'm going to take dot value. Let me check. Okay. Cookies of value is 1. 0 is technical. 1 is null. 1 is null. And 2 is null. Cookies of quali. Of quali. Okay. Value is there. User name details dot value. Okay. For username details dot value, txt name is there. It is department name value. My local object department details is coming here. Obj1 quali value is not coming here. Okay. The problem here is we're using object one, right? You see, this is object, right? We are adding all the information for object itself. But here we take it as an object one, but there is no object one. We didn't replace it. Actually, we have to replace this one. Okay, this is obj2. Obj2. I can pass. Now we can execute this one and we'll check how the values looks like. So just I'm passing some data. So when I click on the submit button, okay. So now I can read all my cookies information. So I have three values. So username, qualification details. So let me go to one by one. Suppose if I use by using index also we can check. Okay, and 1 it's okay, and 2 it's okay. Means technical. Okay. So means totally I have three cookies. Just I'm going to read each and every one. So what are the name that we are given here? That name we can pass to this username details. Okay. Similar way, I can read all the information. It means rest of the information. We have to read department and we have to read qualification, right? So now what I'm going to do is here you can copy the name of the cookie of your qualification. Next is name of for the department. RBL qualification department. Okay. Just I want to execute this page. My cookie is one. When I click on the submit button. Okay. I'm filling the data. You can check. For this, all your information is available in your second page. So you are navigating to cookies ex2.aspx. In cookies2.aspx, we created three labels in order to capture the information of name, qualification, department. With the help of a cookie, we read that information. Okay. If you try to, re-execute this page after 50 hours, your data will be disappeared. Why? Because the expiry time is only for 50 hours. Okay. Even you can give that expiry time minutes, seconds also. Suppose if I want to give this expiry time, you know now dot add minutes, you can give 5 means up to 5 minutes it will be available. After that it will be disappeared. Automatically the value which is available with that cookie is disappeared. So this is about cookie. If you are not at all setting your expiry time, then you will call it as an persistent cookie, means permanent cookie. Defaultly it will be available up to 50 years. Data will be available up to 50 years within the client machine. Okay. So this is about cookies. Okay, important points for this cookie is it stores information temporarily. It is just a small size text file. It can be changed depending on user requirement. So if you want to change, uh, we can change the value also. Okay, and which is then one of the user preferred technique in order to do programming. Require only few bytes or kbs of space for creating a cookie, because in each and every cookie we have to store some data, right? It requires a small amount of data, so that of data is more than enough in order to do programming with our cookie itself. Okay. So far, any doubts related to cookie?
No.
That's okay.
Okay. So next client-side state management technique is query string. Okay. So before going to the query string, let me go through a small practical example. What will be a query string? See, this is my blog where I want to fetch my old, pages. So, say for example, I'm in the second page itself, so not in the first page. Here, I have after this is my blog address. After that, we have some term. After question mark, whatever is available, that we'll call it as a query string. Means updated max. This is nothing but one parameter that I'm passing, and there will be for each and every parameter key and value pair will be there. This is called a key, and this is nothing but value pair. Okay, and we have a symbol that is and, means this parameter got ended here and a new parameter got here. So what does it mean from 2000, from 25th of June 2017 to whatever the posts that I have been posted, that posts are available. Max result 7 means in this page maximum 7 posts are been available for us to read. Means to visualize the content only 7 posts are available. So that is the meaning of that one. Okay. So means a query string information is used to carry an information from one page to another page. By using this we can transport the data from one page to another page within our website. So we can't communicate across communication, means from here we can't communicate to Google. So generally for any website query string information is mandatory we are using. So one of the most powerful technique. So for example, I want to search for SEO Virendra. So there will be multiple number of pages. Okay. So in order to do this one, just these are the multiple number of pages. When I click on this one, you can see my address is below it information. Just before going to post edit, so Google has one query string. So but by default it has some query string. So let us observe here. You can observe carefully. See, Google has some query string which is being readed from that query string. So that query string will be automatically disappeared once you have that information. Means that query string is used to differentiate our programming, or it helps us to implement the programming in an effective manner. Okay, we are splitting. Okay, if you navigate this, we want to pass username and password. If you navigate this, we want to pass the number of result count, and from where we want all this information we can do with the help of a query string. Okay, query string we can typically in the browser we can pass a few parameters to work with the query string itself. Okay, now let us see how we are going to work with our query string. So query string are used for some specific purpose. There is a general case are used to hold some values for a different page and move these values to the different page. The information stored in it can be easily navigated to one page to another page or to the same page as well. If you want to navigate, we can navigate from another page, or we can make it using same page itself. Okay. In query string, whatever we are passing now, we can provide some data at the time of accessing my query string information. Just I want to show you how we are going to create a query string. I want to take a web form, add new item. This is my web form. I want to give you a name as QE1. Okay. Enter name. Enter role. I have to take two text boxes. I'm going to navigate from this page to some other page. For this, I'm using response dot redirect. I want to create one more page slash of. I want to create a QE2 dot spx question mark. I want to give the name. So for example, name equal to txt name, whatever the name that they are giving, text. Okay, so and role, I have a role as my, so double quotes plus txt role dot text. Text. So here I want to create new page. My new page name is QUE2.aspx. Suppose here I want to give two divs. Two divs. I would like to give a name as div admin, run it equal to server star equal to color green. So for example, I give welcome to admin dashboard. Due to welcome to, say for example, user dashboard. So here I want to do programming. In order to access a query string information, we can access in this way. Request dot query string of whatever the name that you are passing here. So here we are passing name as name, right? So this is the same name you can use, or else name. Okay, or else you can use this in this way also. By using indexes also you can access, like 0, first one is 0, next one is 1, like that also you can access. These are the accessibility approaches for your query string. Now what you have to do is, if not object dot reference equal to, because I'm checking before going to access this, I am checking whether that value is null or not. If it is not null, only I can do for further. Otherwise, I don't want to do anything. Null. Okay. And then, so if it is okay, then again I want to take same for one more parameter we have, that is role. So if role dot equals admin div one, you have two divs, right? Okay, div admin, div user. Okay, div admin dot visible equal to true, and div user is false, visible equal to false. Else if it is a normal user, this is false and this is true. And for this, I want to take one label here. Not equal to server. Found board list 2. So here LBL user. Okay, here what I'm going to do is I will pass some text. If it is an admin, I can pass some text to this. Text equal to what is the name that which we are accessing from them. That name we can display here. Dot to string. Similarly, this is for user lbl user dot text equal to, just we can assign that one. Now we are going to submit on this. Just I'm going to click on this one. I'm passing a name. Just admin. When I click on this one, welcome Virendra to admin dashboard. Okay. Suppose if somebody is accessing with the role of user, will get a user dashboard. See here, this is called your query string. In query string, you are passing two parameters. The splitter and indicates that this is an end of your parameter, and it starts with. Likewise, you can pass any number of parameters that you want. Okay, but there is a small restriction from query string, and you don't you have some limit to pass an URL. Okay, so here let us show the point. It is generally used for holding a values, works temporarily, switches info from one to another page, increases performance, uses real and virtual path values for URL routing, and maximum size of query string is 4 KB. You can pass 4 KB length of size of your query string, because you have a provision to pass many things, right? If you pass more than 4 KB of data in your URL, then those things will not be recognized by your application. So that pass a decent amount of values, like you can pass 5 values, 6 values, 10 values. If it is exceeds 4 KB of data, then automatically it is one of the performance set and it won't access it. In this way, we can make use of a query string. It is also used for transferring the data. Advantages with query string than cookies is cookie has a provision. User has a provision to off the cookies. Whenever user off the cookies, the data will not be, yeah, we can't access the data from the cookie object. But here there is no such condition, there is no such thing which is available, a query string option at a browser level. Nobody can do that one. So everybody can access the data, so that in real-time applications we can use more number of times with cookies. Okay, this ends your client-side state management techniques. Any doubts so far?
No.
Okay, now server side, we have a two server side state management techniques. That is, uh, you know, session, and other is an application state. Okay, session. It is used to store the data at a server side. So we can make use to we can make use session for transferring of a data from one page to the other page across our website. So if your web page consists of 100 or 1000 number of pages, we can transfer your data with the help of a session. We can transfer that with the help of our session object. When the session is created, then automatically that session will be available for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, it automatically disappears. Even you can kill that session before also. So in order to pass an information to a session, this is a syntax. We can use a session, and you can open a brace in double quotes. You can give whatever you want. This is the name of your session. Equal to, you can pass whatever the data that you want. State management. So this is nothing but your value. So that this value you can access wherever you want. If you want to kill a session, you can make use of session of uname dot abandon is a method. You can kill your session if you want. This is an approach. Okay, too many number of session declaration leads to a performance effect. So don't create more number of sessions until and unless there was a specific need. Specific need. Okay. So because why unnecessarily creation of session leads to performance, it means so session it is going to create some space at server level so that server will be burdened. So that server will be burdened. Okay. So that's the reason. Don't create too many sessions until unless there is a specific use for this. Okay. Now let me show you how we can use these sessions in our example. Okay. Suppose I want to create one example related to this. Name. So I want to take one, button. So just I want to take text box, text name, submit. For this, I want to take session. For this, I want to pass this value to the name equal to txt name.text. So I want to, navigate to one of the page. So server.transfer. So just I want to navigate to S2 page, s2.aspx. Not any page you can pass, and across your web application, any page you can access your session value. Okay. So here I want to take one S2 page. S2.aspx. So S2.aspx page. So here I want to take one button. So name it as btn kill. You can name it as kill. Just you can take one label, ASP label, id equal to lbl message run at equal to server font bold equal to true. So here lbl message dot text equal to, so before going to if I want to check whether my session value is null or not, reference of equals session of name not equal to null. Label message dot text equal to Prasad. Hello.
Virendra.
I got some some disturbance from your end. Could you keep
Okay.
your sound
Okay.
mute? So lbl message dot text means I'm accessing from session object. So okay, once it was done, so I can, so like we can display text like this. Welcome. Like that we can provide some data. So now what I'm doing is, here I have a button. So I would like to click on the button. So I can use session of, we can use session dot abandon response dot write after session killing. You can check, we can check whether this value is available or not. So lbl message, if it is not there, dot text equal to session was killed. So now just I'm going to execute this page. So for this I want to click on, so I can pass any data and I click on this submit button. So welcome Rekha, because whatever I pass it to my session, that value will be available for me. See, after session killing, so session was killing. Okay. See, when I click on this one, what is this one? S2, right? Oh. When I click on this one, session abandoned after session killing, that will be available. So just I want to put a breakpoint here itself. So I would like to click on this. So session dot abandon. Okay. So here when you're using session of 0, So 0 means nothing but my first session. Okay. So response dot it will comes here. Sorry, session was killed. You'll get a sorry, session was killed. Means session dot abandon kills your session. So once it kills your session, then automatically there is no session name object is available for us. So that it comes here and we can use. Generally in username and login in our applications, we'll get welcome our name, whatever our username that will be displayed at right corner or left corner or something in our applications. That will be because of your session. Once you log into the session, that username or your username or user ID that will be displayed at right side corner of your page, because we pass that information. Once if we succeeded, then we'll pass that information through session, so that in any page we can access with the help of our session object. This is an advantages with session. Any doubts?
No.
We can call this as a session variable. This is one of the server side state management technique. We have a two which are available in server side. One is a session object and other is an application. So application variable. The same approach that we can use for application variable. So this is also one of the server side state management. One of the server side state management technique, which is used to transfer the data from one page to the another page across the application. Across the application, it has a larger scope than the session. Larger scope than the session variable. Means session will be restricted to particular login, but application will be restricted to entire. There is no restriction for application variable. It will be available throughout your application. Suppose once you log into your system, once you log in your account, mute yourself. I'm getting so much disturbance. Hello. Yeah, whenever you're using a login and password, so generally these are the credentials which you want to access your resources in your web application. Then one session is created. That session is for the particular login and password. So I'm accessing one of the application from my location. You are accessing from your location. Somebody is accessing in some other location. If you are trying to enter your credentials and if you log in, one session is created for you and one session is created for me. Means when I log into the system, if somebody logins into the system, another session is created. Means that session will be available as long as we are in that account. If we sign out, means that session will be disappeared, means that session will be killed. But whereas an application variable, irrespective of the user session, an application variable is nothing but a global thing. So no matter of login, no matter of logout, it been available until you closes your IIS. Means once you closes your IIS, then only your session will be, then only your application variable will be closes or it will be disappears, until unless we can have the values. So these application variables are used because of to maintain the application level global variables in our system. Means we have some application variables. By default, we have to load few things. All the loading things we will place in global.axx page so that we can access wherever it is required. Okay. Compared to session, it has a larger scope. So I'll show you how to access these session variables in our application. I want to add a new form. So I would like to name it as app1. So I'd like to take a table. So here app name, txt app, btn submit, text submit. When I click on this is the syntax of storing the application variable, which is similar to session only. Session. So you can access. There is no there is no provision to kill your application variable. Suppose I'm redirecting to session. Sorry, server dot transfer.
అదే చేంజెస్ అన్ని ఎక్సెల్ షీట్ లోనే అప్డేట్ చేశాను మీరు అదే నన్ను కొన్నాను వాళ్ళ కొంత చేంజెస్ ఇది నాలుగు
Here I'm writing one more thing.
చెప్పలేదు వస్తున్నాను చెప్పలేదు
So if session is null, then we'll check here. I'm going to execute my app1.aspx.cs page. Here. Application variable example. When I click on the submit button, so you'll get welcome application variable example. Means you are navigating to s2.aspx page. In s2.aspx page, we implement a code that we are accessing this application variable. So how we kill a session? There is no provision to kill your application variable, because application variable will be available as long as your application is been in running mode. Okay, there is no matter of session, there is no matter of login creation or anything. If you close this or if you stop your IIS server, then only your application variable will be, it will be killed. Means automatically application variable becomes null until unless it will be available for you as long as your application has been running. Okay, why? Because when you host your application, your IIS should started. The moment it was started, application variable will be filled with their values. Okay, this is one of the greatest advantages with application variable. If you want to store some global values, so in this situation we can make use of you know a config file, that is global.asax file. By using that, we can access all the session and application variables. Okay, this is also one of the server-side state management technique. That's all about state management techniques in ASP.NET. Any queries so far? Am I clear?
Yeah.
Yes.